I want to bring in now Jason Rantz, Seattle radio talk show host. Jason, great to have you. Did you catch what Aisha just reported? That there are Republicans now that are going to vote in a Democratic primary. They have changed their affiliation so they can sway where this is going. Republicans in the back coming to the front to try to help save New York City from its violence.
Sometimes you have to get strategic in that way. A traditional Republican generally doesn't have that much power in New York City, and now they understand that Democrats really have hurt their everyday life, that it's not necessarily safe just to go to school each day for their kids or to walk to work or to take the subway. And so now they're getting creative. And I hope that they're successful here, because the clear pattern from the Democratic Party over the last several years is that they are going further and further to the left. And we've seen the results of that.
And when you say further and further to the left, I just want to give people an idea. You know, you've heard Democrats, Jason, say they're going to redefine things. Defund the police. No, we're going to reimagine policing. I still can't get anybody to tell me detailed what that means. But the Atlanta mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms, is now trying to find reasons for the violence. Watch this.
Well, I think there are a couple of things that you have to compare. Remember, in Georgia, we were open up before the rest of the country, even before the CDC said that it was safe for us to open. So our nightclubs and our bars remain open. We had people traveling here from across the country to party in our city.
Jason, she's blaming lockdowns
are we going to look
for
at
the
data?
spike. And go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I mean, look at the data. You can see who's getting arrested for these crimes. These aren't just people who are coming in from out of town. It's weird because over here on the West Coast, in Seattle, for example, we had a 26-year high homicide rate when we were completely closed down. So Democrats can't have it both ways. I've heard them say, well, it's the COVID lockdowns that are causing this because everyone's a little bit uncomfortable and they're suffering, and so they turn to crime. That's not what's happening. We have a very clear line to point to across all of this. We have defunding of the police. We have the policies that have allowed people to go out of jail without any charges, let alone any kind of even slap on the wrist. They've embraced this idea of restorative justice, which is a form of rehab. And it's something that in New York City, for example, they're doing with some of those looters. The problem is, when we're talking about some 16-year-old kid who maybe steals a soda from a 7-Eleven, that's one thing. We're talking about mostly adults who are committing these crimes. We're talking not just about murders, but we're talking about break-ins. We're talking about all of these other issues that impact the quality of life. And to simply say, well, these are just people on the bad track, we're going to throw some more money into programs to get at the root causes of violence. I'm sorry, but that's not quick enough for the people who are the actual victims, like regular citizens, taxpayers, and these business owners.
That is such a talking point, too. It's like the root causes of what's happening at the border. The root causes, but they don't want to look at the root causes. By the way, I didn't want that just to play in case people are just tuning in and they didn't understand. Those were two little ones caught in crossfire. That video that we were showing while Jason was speaking, one is 5, one is 10. The children okay, but you see the guy shooting him, the guy in the red sweatshirt with his back to the shooter, and those kids just getting caught. So I wanted to re-say that because I think it's worth stating. Look, this is becoming such a big issue now for Democrats, and we've been calling it out all along. Politico is now reporting this, Jason. The White House has been very reluctant to emphasize issues outside of ending the pandemic, which we just saw, reviving the economy and passing its American Jobs Plan and its American Families Plan. So we think it's notable that on Wednesday, President Joe Biden will be devoting his public events to the issue of crime and how his administration is responding to the uptick in violence. Jason, your response.
I mean, I find it notable that no one's calling this Biden's America with the crime surge. They did that under Trump, even though it wasn't Trump supporters who were doing that. Look, Joe Biden could give the best speech he's ever given on Wednesday. A speech is not going to change the policies that are in play at these deeply progressive cities and states. That's really what he has to do. He has to call them out. He has to call them out by name. He's got to take control of the Democratic Party, because at this point, it kind of feels like it's too far gone. Unless you get rid of these policies, unless you get rid of these politicians who are proposing these policies, what is a speech exactly going to do? You still have the activist groups who are funneling money into these far left-wing politicians who hang on to power. So I'm sorry, but what exactly does Wednesday mean?
I just want to quickly, and I apologize, the audience knows there's a bit of a delay here, but I want to quickly just get to this and move on. So forgive me, Jason. But you know, you're pointing to policies by Democrats. I don't know that the president, especially with all the pressure from the far left in his party, do you really see him calling people out by name? I mean, really, on Wednesday, what can he say to directly deal with what's happened in your beautiful city in Seattle?
I think for starters, he should acknowledge there's actually a problem, because we've been hearing from so many Democrats that this isn't really going on, that it's a figment of the conservatives' imagination. But the fact of the matter is we see the data and it's clearly rising. He needs to take some responsibility for this and at least say from a party level, from an administration level, that they're going to come up with actual policies to tackle this, including some funding into some of these programs that go at the root causes. But he has to back police. At the end of the day, he has to say that the defund movement was wrong. It's gone a little bit too far. And I know for a Democrat to say that, that's going out on a limb. But he has to be honest about the policies that they themselves pushed. He, as a candidate, said he didn't actually support defunding the police. But then, of course, he stayed silent as it was happening. So he has to sort of reset this entire debate, say cops are not the enemies. We are here. We need to support them. I just still find that hard to believe that he's going to actually say that.
Yeah. You know, speaking of police officers being stained by the words of some calling them enemies or whatever, what have you, and some of the words get to be pretty colorful and acronyms, so on and so forth. Here's the former police chief of Detroit.
Let me just start by saying that our profession is in a crisis right now. We can talk about the failed leadership, but where's the support for the men and women? This anti-police rhetoric. So is there a surprise that NYPD officers are leaving in large numbers? Is it a surprise that Chicago PD officers are leaving in large numbers? And you wonder why there's violent crime.
Jason.
There's this underlying issue there that's really important to have about staffing. Proactive policing is incredibly important, but if you're not staffed to do that, then you can't actually make meaningful change. I don't know many crimes that are being committed in front of a uniformed officer. And I think Dan Bongino made that point a little bit earlier today. And I think it's well stated. You don't see a whole bunch of crimes directly in front of cops. And so if cops aren't able to walk the streets or bike the streets of our big cities, well, guess what? It's more of an opportunity for the criminals who are getting out of jail or not going to jail at all to further victimize these communities.
That is such a fine point to end on. That the fact that you point out that these crimes aren't really unfolding where we have law enforcement, but where there's no enforcement of the law, who knows what we will see next? Well, everybody's watching New York because it's a litmus test for defund and for all these other things that were supposed to be reimagined policing. And Republicans getting in on that, to switch parties, to vote, to make that primary whittled down to a more moderate candidate is fascinating. Jason, I'm so glad you were with me as this is unfolding. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Harris. Appreciate it.